Hello, dear students, good morning. Students, as you know, we learnt the part regarding the conversation that took place between Mrs. Fitzgerald and George. Okay, a day before yesterday on Saturday. Mrs. Fitzgerald morning. Oh, no, please. Mrs. Fitzgerald. Mrs. Pearson sits. Since we attended the part that when Mrs. Pearson had been so much agitated and she was about to slap on the face of her husband, so at the same time Mrs. Fitzgerald got badly frightened and she spoke some words in a very low, painful low voice, and she asked Mrs. Pearson not to do such kind of task as it was totally against the honor of a woman. And hearing such words from her friend Mrs. Fitzgerald, Mrs. Pearson again resumes her seat, and she sits down there. Okay, so then George staring at her bewildered. Since George Pearson really got badly surprised, and he had also found himself so much confused, as he could not decide on his part why Mrs. Fitzgerald had spoken her name Mrs. Fitzgerald and why she had used such kind of words. Oh no, since he had not understood the mystery. Okay, he had not understood, he did not know anything about that the mystery. Okay, that the mystery between Mrs. Fitzgerald and Mrs. Pearson. So that's why he spoke some words, and now in this passage which we had attended a day before yesterday, okay, he is speaking his words to Mrs. Fitzgerald. Either I am of my chump. Beta, the word chump can also be taken in this in the sense of the statement as skull or head, as I had already told you. But the word chump can also be used here as for the word fool. Okay, fool, unwitty. Either I am of my chump. But according to the statement, I think so it should be used as skull or as a head, out of proper senses, or you to are, or you to are. So while addressing both Mrs. Fitzgerald as well as his wife Annie Pearson, George spoke these words and he told them either he was out of his senses or they both were. या तो मैं पागल हो गया हूँ या तुम पागल हो गई हो. How do you mean? No, please, Mrs. Fitzgerald. Now, calling the attention of Mrs. Fitzgerald towards him, George, asked her. George asked her what she really meant to say. How means what, and we can take the word how also. How she meant to say, not what she really meant to say the words. No, please. George simply wanted to ask one thing from Mrs. Fitzgerald. Why she had spoken such words, calling her name Mrs. Fitzgerald, though she had not made any mistake. Look, you are Mrs. Fitzgerald. He told Mrs. Fitzgerald that she was Mrs. Fitzgerald. So why are you telling yourself to stop when you are not doing anything? So he asked her why she was telling herself to stop when she was not doing anything at that time. Tell her to stop, then there would be some sense in it. He also told Mrs. Fitzgerald that if she asked herself to stop doing something, भाई तुम तो कुछ कर ही नहीं रही हो, तुम तो अब बैठी हो, तुम अपने आप को अपना खुद का नाम लेकर क्यों कह रही हो ये कि अरे नहीं श्रीमती फिट्जरॉल्ड. अब उसको नहीं पता था ना कि श्रीमती फिट्जरॉल्ड जो नाम लिया गया है श्रीमती फिट्जरॉल्ड के द्वारा, यह श्रीमती फिट्जरॉल्ड उसकी पत्नी मिसेस पियर्सन है, जिसने कि श्रीमती फिट्जरॉल्ड का रूप धारण किया हुआ है. नो मैटर. टेल हर टू स्टॉप. tell her to stop, then there would be some sense in it. And he also suggested Mrs. Fitzgerald that she should not speak such words again. Staring at Mrs. Pearson, I think you must be tiddly. Okay, the word Betty. Staring at Mrs. Pearson, I think you must be tiddly. So while speaking some words to Mrs. Fitzgerald, George also told his wife that he, according to him, in his opinion, we may say in his opinion, she she must be in proper senses. She should not be out of her common senses. Mrs. Pearson starting up savagely. Savagely means wildly. Okay, the word savagely means wildly. Okay, and in an uncivilized manner, savagely. Mrs. Pearson starting up again. When Mrs. Pearson happened to hear such kinds of words from her husband, she got angry and she spoke the words to him. Say that again. She told her husband that he should speak the same words again. She would like to teach him a good lesson. George Pearson. George. Intimidated. Intimidated means bete got badly horrified. Okay. Pained and horrified. Being very timid. 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 Being very timid. George. All right, all right, all right. George had understood the George had understood the nature of his wife and the nature of her feelings also at that time, since she was again in a very angry mood and she could slap him also at that time. That's why George thought that he should not like to get himself insulted in the presence of any other lady. And he remained quite silent and he got agreed. उसने कहा ठीक है भाई, ठीक है भाई, ठीक है भाई. Doris entered left slowly, looking miserable. Oh, looking so much unhappy. Doris Pearson again, okay, comes here into the living room where the play is being, okay, where the play is going on, where the play is still going on. Doris Pearson enters the living room through the left side door very slowly. When she enters the living room, beta, at this time she looks so unhappy. She is still wearing the wrap. The word wrap stands for a kind of cloth, just like in the shape of a shawl, which is generally used to cover the upper part of the body, especially on the over the shoulders. Over the shoulders. Dusala. She is still wearing the wrap in order to protect herself from the cold. She is still wearing only the wrap, a kind of shawl. Mrs. Pearson sits on the settee. Mrs. Pearson cools herself down and she sits herself on the small sofa. Settee stands for a small sofa. Mrs. Fitzgerald, hello, dear Doris, dear. Oh, when Mrs. Fitzgerald catches the sight of Doris Pearson or takes the sight of Doris Pearson, she calls her by her name. Doris, bete, Doris, dear, how are you? Hello, how are you? Like this. Firstly, Mrs. Fitzgerald greets her, calling her name Doris, dear, and then she might have asked how she was. Doris miserably, hello, Mrs. Fitzgerald. Doris Pearson also, okay, greets Mrs. Fitzgerald, speaking the word hello, so unhappily. Mrs. Fitzgerald, I thought you were going out with Charlie Spence tonight. Mrs. Fitzgerald tells Doris Pearson that she thought that she was going out with Charlie Spence that night, since she had heard from someone that she would like to go to enjoy the time with her lover boyfriend Charlie Spence. That night, Doris annoyed. What that to do with you? Doris Pearson gets so much annoyed, gets so much angry, okay, at that time, and she asked Mrs. Fitzgerald what she wanted to have such kind of matter, what she wanted to do that matter, what she really wanted to do that matter. आपको इस बात से क्या लेने देना, आप क्यों पूछना चाहती हो मैं किसके साथ जा रही हूँ किसके साथ नहीं. Mrs. Pearson sharply, oh, Mrs. Pearson, who was also present there, sitting in the in her chair, and she, sorry, on the sofa. She was sitting on the sofa. So Mrs. Pearson at the same moment speaks some words to Doris Pearson. उसी वक्त डोरिस पियर्सन को बहुत तेजी से कुछ बोलती है. ओको स्टॉप दैट, स्टॉप दैट. Mrs. Pearson asks Doris Pearson very sharply to stop such kind of wordings, not to use such kinds of wordings. Mrs. Fitzgerald nervously, no, it's all right. Mrs. Fitzgerald, okay, being so much nervous, sad and upset, looking so much nervous, Mrs. Fitzgerald tells Mrs. Pearson that it doesn't matter, it's all right. If the child has spoken such kind of words, it doesn't matter. वो कहती कोई बात नहीं बहन, कोई बात नहीं, बालक है अभी, बोल गई होगी, कोई बात नहीं. ओके. Mrs. Pearson severely, severely means harshly, strictly. It isn't all right. It isn't all right. I won't have a daughter of mine talking to anybody like that. Mrs. Pearson objects to it, and tells Mrs. Fitzgerald that it was not all right. It is not all right, as she would not have such kind of daughter of her talking to anybody like that. Talking to anybody like that. Okay. Talking to anybody like that. Now answer Mrs. Fitzgerald properly. Mrs. Fitzgerald asks her daughter to give a response to Mrs. Fitzgerald in a very sensible manner. उसको कहा कि तुम श्रीमती फिट्जरॉल्ड को ढंग से जवाब दो. क्या जवाब देना हुआ तुम्हारा, कि तुम्हें क्या लेना देना, मैं किसके साथ जाती हूँ किसके साथ नहीं जाती हूँ. डॉरिस और गो अपस्टेयर्स. Mrs. Pearson asked Doris Pearson to give her answer to Mrs. Fitzgerald very properly, and then asked her to go upstairs again. Doris looks wonderingly at her father. Doris starts looking at her father surprisingly, who is also sitting there, who is not speaking any word, since who has been insulted by his wife Mrs. Pearson so frequently. बेचारे जॉर्ज की तो बार बार बेइज्जती की गई है ना, इसलिए वो बोल नहीं रहा है कुछ. जॉर्ज इन despair, don't look at me, I give it up, I just give it up. George Pearson tells Doris Pearson that she should not look at his face like that, as he has already accepted his fault, as he has really given up his all habits, forsaken. Mrs. Pearson fiercely, well, answerer. Mrs. Pearson tells Doris Pearson very strongly that she should answer Mrs. Fitzgerald in a very sensible way, Doris sulkily means moodily, without taking so much interest in that statement, and almost ignoring the voice of her mother. Moodily, I was going out with Charlie Spence tonight, but now I have called it off. So while giving a response to Mrs. Fitzgerald, Doris Pearson speaks these words. I had decided to go with Charlie Spence that night, but she had really postponed her picnic with him. उसने कहा कि वास्तव में मैं आज रात चार्ली स्पेन के साथ घूमने के लिए कहीं पिकनिक पर घूमने फिरने के लिए जाने वाली थी, लेकिन मैंने अपनी ये यात्रा जो है आज रात की जो मेरी पिकनिक की जो यात्रा थी बाहर जाने की, बट मैंने स्थगित कर दी है. मिसेज फिट्जरॉल्ड, ओह व्हाट ए पिटी डियर, व्हाट ए बैड थिंग, पिटी मीन व्हाट ए बैड थिंग डियर, व्हाई हैव यू. मिसेज फिट्जरॉल्ड गेट्स सो मच सरप्राइज्ड एंड देन टेल्स Doris Pearson that it is really very bad thing, and She wants to ask why she has postponed that the visit on some to some other day. तुमने आखिरकार इस विजिट को अगले किसी दिन के लिए क्यों पोस्टपोन कर दिया बेटा? ये तो गलत बात है, आपको जाना चाहिए. Doris with a flash of temper, oh, being so much angry, because if you must know, my mother has been going on at me, making me feel miserable and saying he has got buck teeth and is half-witted. Doris Pearson tells Mrs. Fitzgerald if she wants to know about it also, then she is totally ready to tell her, as her mother, Mrs. Pearson, has been going on to make her feel so miserable, as she has also made her cry, made her weep, and she has also called her boyfriend buckteeth and half-witted. So she has also insulted. She has also insulted, okay, her lover. Mrs. Fitzgerald rather bolder to Mrs. Pearson, now speaking her words in a very bold and confident way, speaking her words a bit harshly, severely to Mrs. Pearson. Oh, you shouldn't have said that. Mrs. Fitzgerald tells Mrs. Pearson that she shouldn't have insulted, okay, any child's boyfriend or girlfriend, any child's boyfriend, your daughter's boyfriend. It is not good. Mrs. Pearson sharply, Mrs. Pearson started, okay, Mrs. Pearson starts scolding Mrs. Fitzgerald, speaking some words very angrily. Mrs. Fitzgerald, I will manage my family, you manage yours. And she tells Mrs. Fitzgerald that she would like to manage her family and she should go and tackle her family at her home. उसने कहा कि तुम्हारे को मेरे परिवार के बीच में मत नहीं आना है, मैं अपने परिवार की व्यवस्था अपने आप देखूंगी, मुझे कैसे इन लोगों को रखना है, आप जाकर के अपने परिवार देखिए. गुस्से से भरकर कह देती है. जॉर्ज ग्रिमली taking her off now, are you any? George asks Annie Frank whether she is not insulting her friend, whether she is speaking to her very sensibly. Okay, Mrs. Pearson even more grimly, they are waiting for you at the club, George. Mrs. Pearson does not give any importance to her husband's voice, and she asks him to go to, okay, the club, as the people at that club, okay, have been waiting for her. Don't forget, she also asks George not to forget to go to there, and don't you start crying again, Doris. And she asks Doris not to speak a single word over that on any matter. Mrs. Fitzgerald getting up with sudden decision. That's enough, quite enough. Mrs. Fitzgerald, okay, while leaving her seat with a sudden decision. Mrs. Fitzgerald takes a sudden decision and she leaves her seat, and then she tells Mrs. Pearson that it has been so much enough. It has been enough, and now she should not go against this the limit. She should not cross the limit. George and Doris stare at her bewildered. Both George and Doris Pearson look at Mrs. Pearson, okay, with her open mouth, being so much surprised in a bewildered condition. Okay, the next page. To George and Doris, now listen, you two. I want to have a private little talk with Mrs. Fitzgerald. While addressing George Pearson and her daughter Doris Pearson, Mrs. Pearson tells them that she wants to have a private conversation with Mrs. Fitzgerald. That's why they should go out for a while. She corrects herself hastily with Mrs. Pearson. So I will be obliged if you will leave us alone for a few minutes. She asks them to go out of the living room only for a few minutes so that they both can have their private conversation. I will let you know when we have finished. She also tells her husband and her daughter that she would like to report them as soon as their conversation completes. Go on, please. I promise you that you won't regret it. And she also asks both Mrs. George Pearson and Doris Pearson that they should leave the place, as she promises them that she would not like to feel any kind of regret. She would not like to make them feel any regret. There is something here that only I can deal with. Okay, there is something here that only I can deal with. And she tells them that she only wants to have a private conversation with Mrs. Fitzgerald, Okay, quite alone. George rising, I am glad somebody can. Cause means because I can't. Come on, Doris. George Pearson tells his daughter Doris Pearson that she should not stay there any longer and she should go with him outside the room, and they both leave the place. George and Doris exit left. George firstly says that I am glad somebody can. Okay, George tells his wife that he is totally happy that somebody in his family can, okay, bring some happiness in the house. George and Doris exit left. Both George and Doris leave the place through the, okay, left side door. As they go, Mrs. Fitzgerald moves to left of the small table and sits. As soon as they go out, Mrs. Fitzgerald and Mrs. Pearson, they both sit together. She eagerly beckons. Beckon indicates Mrs. Pearson to do the same thing. She eagerly beckons Mrs. Pearson to do the same thing, and she also hints. Okay, she also gives a hint to Mrs. Pearson to do the same thing, as she has already told her. Now they want to change their personalities again better. Mrs. Fitzgerald, we must change back now. We really must. Mrs. Pearson, rising. Why? Mrs. Fitzgerald tells Mrs. Pearson that they both should change their personalities now, as they have already got it changed for a long time, and she has already brought a new change in the mentality of her family members. Mrs. Pearson, okay, while rising herself from that seat, why she wants to get the personality changed? Why she wants to get her personality changed, Mrs. Fitzgerald? Because this has gone far enough. Mrs. Fitzgerald कहते हैं कि बहुत हो गया है. This has gone far enough. Now she has taught good lesson of morality to her family members. She should not cross the limit. I can see they are all miserable. She also tells Mrs. Fitzgerald that they all look so unhappy at this time, and I can't bear it, and now she cannot bear it all. Mrs. Pearson, a bit more of the same would do them good, making a great difference already. वो कहते थोड़ा सा मुझे और इनको सुधार लेने दो, मेकिंग ए ग्रेट डिफरेंस ऑलरेडी. कभी कभी बीच में हिंदी का अनुवाद भी मैं चलो करवा देता हूँ. कहते कि वास्तव में मुझे थोड़ा सा और एक बार इनमें थोड़ा सा एहसास कराना इनकी गलतियों का, थोड़ा सा अंतर और कर देती हूँ. मेकिंग ए ग्रेट डिफरेंस ऑलरेडी, पहले ही काफ़ी बदलाव हो चुका है इनमें, लेकिन थोड़ा सा और इनमें बदलाव कर देती हूँ. सी मूव्स टू राइट ऑफ द टेबल एंड सिट्स. Speaking such words, she again moves to the right of the table and sits there. Mrs. Fitzgerald, no, I can't stand any more of it. I really can't. We must change back. Hurry up, please, Mrs. Fitzgerald. श्रीमती फिट्जरॉल्ड कहती है कि हे मिसेस फिट्जरॉल्ड, अभी आप एक काम करें. उस श्रीमती पियर्सन को बोल रही है, बस मैं अब और ज़्यादा इस प्रकार से नहीं देख सकती, वास्तव में बहुत ज़्यादा हो गया है. अब हमें वापस अपनी पर्सनलिटी बदलनी होगी, हमें अपने असली रूप में आना होगा. जल्दी करो. मिसेस पियर्सन, वेल इफ़ यू इंसिस्ट मीन जिद करना होता है, करना, असर्ट ऑन समथिंग forcibly. Mrs. Pearson also gets ready and she tells Mrs. Fitzgerald if she insists then she is totally ready to do the same. Mrs. Fitzgerald, yes I do, please. Mrs. Fitzgerald कहते हैं कि ठीक है, मैं भी ऐसा करने के लिए तैयार हूँ, कृपया करके आप ये सब करें. She stretches her hand across the table eagerly. Mrs. Pearson takes them. Mrs. Pearson quite now relaxed. Again they both follow the same formula, and they Mrs. Fitzgerald stretches her hands across the table eagerly. Mrs. Pearson also also takes the hands, also holds the hands of Mrs. Fitzgerald, and they both put their hands, okay, together. Mrs. Pearson quite now relaxed. Mrs. Pearson, who is in the personality of Mrs. Fitzgerald, tells that she should be totally relaxed. Mrs. Pearson and Mrs. Fitzgerald stare at each other, muttering exactly as before. They both started looking at each other. Again, Mrs. Pearson, who is in the personality of Mrs. Fitzgerald, starts speaking the words of the same word, Aristotelum, Dambona. They carry out the same action as before, going lax and then coming to life. Okay, again, after chanting the magic spell, they both once they both find their bodies quite laxed, illusion, and again they seem that the life has come back to them, but this time of course they become their proper personalities. Now they have got their personality changed, and now they have come into their real personalities, ordinary personalities, natural personalities as before. Mrs. Fitzgerald, oh well, I enjoyed that. Mrs. Fitzgerald tells that really she had enjoyed her life a lot. Mrs. Pearson eyed in. Mrs. Pearson told that she did not enjoy her life. Mrs. Fitzgerald, well, you ought to have done. Now listen. Mrs. Fitzgerald tells Mrs. Pearson that she should have done it very nicely, and now she would like to tell her how to do her works in her family. Up to here we have completed. The rest part will be attended by us in the next lecture. Thank you.